Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Sonny T. Right back at you with another podcast for marketers exclusive. Now, I want you to go to Cheeseburger Nation for my podcast, Stealthy Millionaire on Instagram, YouTube. It's podcast for marketers, and Billionaire Vids on Snapchat, Billionaire Vid without the S on Twitter, podcastformarketers.com for your free MP3 player. You got to pay for your fucking shipping. Right? And I have a kick-ass SMMA course over there that's kicking Ty Lopez's right in the old britches. You can see all of those links down below in the description and the first comment as well. Go to funnelhackerpro.com for my Facebook group. It's kick-ass, man. Dudes are over there making big progress. Smash that thumbs up, man. I want you to break your fucking mouth, man. If you like this video, man, make sure you comment below. Let me know, man. I want to know what you guys think on these videos, man. I really enjoy the comments. I like talking to each and every one of you, and we have a really cool community going over there. So fucking subscribe to this channel if you like the content. I do videos every day, non-stop. I'll never stop. Boom. All right, guys, so now we are on number 22. And today I'm going to be talking about negative thoughts, right? I'm going to start this. I'm going to play a video for you. Remember when you were in school back in the day and the teacher would play a video for you in class? Because this guy here can kind of tell you a little bit better than I can. And my wife actually told me that Oprah Winfrey did this back in the 90s, and it was called her gratitude journal. All right. And this guy talks about how, you know, every day at the end of the day, you need to write down 3 to 5 things that, you know, were good or you were grateful for. Okay. And what this does is called pre-framing. Okay. And this is very important. And it's an important exercise for a couple of reasons, right? Number one is, I'm going to tell you about this girlfriend I had. Her name was Yolanda, right? And I hate to even just put her real name out there, but she was so fucking negative, man. I mean, now all of us, we can't be perfect, right? Like, I'm not some positive dude, you know, just runs around all day like, oh my God, I'm so positive. I have my bad days as well, right? But in general, and I'm talking, you know, I'm talking a 90% of the time, I'm pretty positive dude, man. And I'm always thinking positive. And for me, there's nothing I can't accomplish, man. But every day, man, Yolanda had something to complain about. Something was wrong and her life was just garbage and blah, 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 right? And she never really could look at the good things. And as a result of that, I ended up breaking up with Yolanda because I just couldn't stand the negativity, right? So I noticed that some people are just like that, and maybe it's because of how you were raised or because of how your mother taught you how to do it. It's not your own fault. This all comes from an environment that was created for you, and maybe this is how your parents were, or maybe this is how you had an uncle or a school teacher or something like that, right? It's not your own fault. But you need to rewire yourself. You need to understand, man, that positive shit happens, you know, when you start taking those steps to make this shit happen. Life doesn't just happen to people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Life doesn't just like, oh, shit. You know, now, of course, some shit does happen, like cancer and shit that's out of our control. But I mean, shit that's in your control, right? Like, let's give you an example. Let's just say your job is shit. You control that. If you have a shit job, quit the fucking job, man. And therein lies the negative shit, right? Oh, I can't quit my job. I won't have anything. But yes, you will. Because you create this shit right here, man. This is all you, man. You create this. And what you get out of this is it starts all with this. You guys know I'm about mindset, right? And I know some of you like, Sonny, man, I would just want actionable steps I can take, right? I give you actionable steps in my courses. And shit, because I don't cover clicking buttons, you know? You can find anybody to tell you how to click buttons. But I cover actionable shit. But if your head isn't right and you aren't taking action on this, this is why I'm so really, really focused on mindset, right? I've never had a problem. This is the biggest thing. I've never had a problem with understanding that I can win. I've always known the formula to be a winner, right? I know that it's hard work, it's dedication or whatever. But what's the difference between knowing it and doing it? What's the difference between that right there, right? That's a mindset. You all know what it takes to win. You all know what they say. You know the cliche shit, right? But what's going to finally make you do it? That's mindset, okay? And this pre-framing goes for, I want you to remember this. This pre-framing goes further than just gratitude. At the end of this video, the dude's going to tell a story about how he would buy or wouldn't buy a car because of the way somebody preset something, right? So what I want you to think about is your pre-sell in your funnel. Now, this is getting a little deep for summer, right? But what I want you to do is take this pre-framing and for extra credit, take it the extra step, okay? Go that extra step and think about what a pre-sale does before your funnel. All right, so this is advanced training right here. This is for guys that already have some funnels up or whatever, right? What happens beforehand? So to give you an example, what happens before you get into my funnel, right? If you just look, I'm providing tons of value or whatever, but if you ever go to one of my sales pages, what do you see? You see testimonials. I'm pre-framing you. I'm letting you know that people, those are real testimonials, by the way. They're not bullshit testimonials, but those are real testimonials of people that have taken my courses and they're getting tons of value out of my courses, right? So you're getting pre-framed. That's on the very smallest levels, right? It goes much bigger than this. If you think about, people that say, even let's use a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant and it's got plastic chairs and there's flies, moving around, and there's, empty beer bottles on some of the tables. It's not the cleanest place. You see, maybe one or two waitresses kind of milling around, but they're not really working too hard, but you heard they had the best tacos, right? They had the best tacos ever, right? Learn how to spell, Sonny. They had the best tacos ever. You were on Yelp. Like, these are the best tacos I ever had. And once you got there, you kind of saw the shitty shit going on in the restaurant, right? Would you power through that and eat the tacos? Of course you would, because you got pre-framed. This place had the best fucking tacos that I've ever tasted. These are award-winning tacos. But when you got there, you saw that the place it had plastic chairs and the service wasn't the greatest, but you would power through that. Why? Because you already pre-framed. These are the best tacos in the world. I'll deal with this shit here. I'll power through this shit because I want to get what I was sold in the first place. That's a pre-sale. Yelp is a pre-sale, right? Those reviews. So if you think about pre-framing people and start to use this power in your funnels, that's your extra credit, right? So today's class is going to be really short. It wasn't meant to be some long-ass, drawn-out class or whatever. The last couple of classes were really long, kind of long-ish, and kind of deep. So today I just want to keep things short. Learn about pre-framing. First of all, your negative thoughts are really important, man, to get rid of those, man. The next class is actually going to be talking about an exercise similar to doing something that I'm using myself, right, every day. So that's what the next class is going to be about. And some of these productivity tips for you to do over the summertime, and this is one of them that won't take a lot of time. Watch this video and write down those 3 to 5 things every day to be grateful for, right? And start changing your outlook on life. Especially if you think that I had a guy comment on one of my videos the other day. No, he didn't. He commented on one of my, just on the website. And he goes, Sonny, I've got a shit life right now. Everything's fucked up. And he basically told me, you're not original. You're talking about Ty Lopez. His whole shit was totally negative. But I'm thinking about taking one of your courses. But how did he context himself? In the beginning, how did he context? He totally said that his life was shit. I was garbage. And I'm thinking, he pre-framed it. Do I want to do business with this guy? Fuck no. Please don't buy any of my shit, right? He pre-framed himself just that fast. Instead of saying your life is garbage, right? Instead of saying that I'm unoriginal and you're thinking about buying one of my courses, which was really weird, you could have easily turned it around like most people do when they find out my free information on YouTube and they go, Sonny, this is fucking awesome. Before I was watching other shit, I wasn't getting as much information that I'm getting. Maybe you really dig the way I teach, right? And now, although I'm having problems in my life, I feel like I can see a way through this. This is awesome. And I'm thinking about purchasing one of your courses, right? Now look at the pre-frame there. Even though you did mention that maybe you have a few problems, but everything else was positive, right? But you can always tell the way someone thinks when they think negatively. And if this isn't for you, then beat it. Don't watch this particular tip. But if this is for you and you do catch yourself thinking negative all the time, it's pre-framing. To be honest with you, I don't even understand how to think so negative. So I can't give you too many examples other than to tell you that every day that I've been around a negative person, nothing positive ever comes out of their mouth. They never think anything good can happen to them. And you need to know that things good can happen to you, man. It's not bullshit. Things good can happen to you daily, right? And it's not some magic shit though, right? It's not magic, right? It is totally up to you to make good things happen to you, right? And good things happen to you every day. You just need to start looking at that instead of some of the things that irritate you. Negative shit is just only things that just irritate you that you don't think you have the power to change, but you do. Now this is cliche as fuck and it really pisses me off, right, to say it, but it's true. Like they always say, well, people can't piss you off, only you can get pissed off, and it's very true. Let me give you a story before I let you get this video. The other day I was looking at a piece of property, and I had to drive, no bullshit, 4 hours to go see this piece of property. Okay. The drive was probably something like $40 in tolls. Okay. Plus, I put $100 in the gas tank. Plus, I had to get a hotel room. All right. For 2 nights. All right, so that's $140. But I think we paid, I don't know, $60, $70 for a room. So let's just say another $140. So that's $240. That's $280. Let's just round it off at $300, right? Which feels about right. So it cost me $300 to go see this property, right? And the guy didn't show. I mean, we sat there. I called him several times. Talked to his secretary, and he flat out didn't show, right? And there was no call. There was no email. There was even no excuse. Okay? He just didn't fucking show up. And I bullshit you not, for equivalent of 5 minutes, I was pissed off, right? And then my wife made a comment. She's like, this guy is totally fucked up our whole weekend. I then got pissed off and said, no, he didn't. It's no way he fucking pissed off or fucked off our weekend. I'm not even thinking about this guy anymore. What I'm going to do now is go have some fun. And we did. We stayed, did an extended weekend, went a few places. You guys saw some videos or whatever. Went a few places. It was awesome. Because I didn't allow him to piss me off, and I just wanted to have a good time, right? So I'm going to stop boring you guys with my fucking stories.
The other thing I just want to tell you is sometimes the environment itself doesn't have to change. What changes our perception of the environment. And I'm going to take a minute to tell you about One of the best examples I can think of this is a very simple exercise called the gratitude exercise. Have you heard of this? Has anybody tried it? Okay. There's studies now that show that you can measurably improve health outcomes as well as happiness and life satisfaction if you do a simple exercise. At the end of the day, you sit down and write down 3 to 5 things that happened during that 24 hours that you're grateful for. Okay? Now, I tried the exercise, and I was pleasantly surprised that while I'm writing and thinking about the things I'm grateful for, of course I'm going to feel in a good mood. What I had not anticipated is what it does through the rest of the 24 hours. You see, tonight, I'm going to face a blank sheet of paper. And I have to come up with 3 to 5 things that happened during this day that I'm grateful for. I'm getting a little nervous. We're already at 11 o'clock. Have I found anything yet? Okay? So suddenly my antennae go up. I begin to filter my environment, my experience, and the people around me to discover and identify the things I'm grateful for. And so the environment hasn't changed. These things have been going on every day, all the time. What's changed is my cognitive frame and the way I perceive the environment. And so a very important way to approach environmental change is actually by changing people's conception of the environment. I have a friend, Nancy Bruning, who's written a book, 50 Things You Can Do on a Park Bench. I love that title. Isn't that a great title? 50 things. And suddenly I can't walk by a park bench without thinking and looking at that park bench in a different way. These changes in cognitive frame are extremely powerful. I went to buy a car. This was some years ago. And the guy said, well, what else are you looking at? And I told him I was looking at this Chevrolet or something. And he suddenly stopped and he looked at me. He says, you know, the problem with that is nobody under the age of 50 should buy that car. Now, I knew what he was doing. He was manipulating me towards selling his car. But I've got to tell you, we're 30 years later. I cannot get that thought out of my mind. I now look at the Chevrolet and I'm going, I'm over 50. I could buy it now. But I'm looking at that car and I'm thinking, I can't buy that car. This framing and allowing people to see the world differently is an underutilized, and I'm going to come back to that, in terms of supporting behavior change.
Summer break.